excited to be back. I was away for about a month staying at my partner's place because we were filming some stuff there that will be out sometime soon. I don't have a specific date for that kind of thing yet, but I was unable to film there because their house is really busy and there's a lot of people and commotion and sound, and it was just really hard to find a time or a space that I could film for YouTube, so I'm sorry about that. But that's where I've been, and I'm very excited. So today we're going to be talking about starting a YouTube channel as a wee bean, as a brand new content creator, whatever you want to call yourself. If it's a hobby, if it's a career, we're going to talk about it. So stick with it, boys. I feel like I'm on an angle. Whatever, I'm over it. So have my laptop here. Let me know if you want me to drop these stickers. I had them printed for shows, and I was just gonna like have them with me when I did gigs. And now I have like 120 stickers of my face. I don't know what to do with them. So if you would be interested in buying them, like let me know and I will post them on Etsy or something. Unrelated, but you know, maybe one day I'll be able to gig again. I've just been like holding on to them, being like, you know, I had them printed last, I think, January, and I was like, yeah, like these will be really good for gigs. I will be able to hand them out to people if they want to see them. It has my name on it, so they'll be able to look me up if they want to. Other than that, it's just like a really dope sticker. Mine's like worn out to all hell. Like she's dying. Yep. That's about it. That's all I got. So yeah, anyway, back to starting a YouTube channel. I have 4 categories that I've like built this video down into, and I have my notes, which is the whole reason my laptop is here. Went on a bit of a tangent, I apologize. But some things to consider before starting a channel is the first category, YouTube for fun versus for growth, because those are two like vastly different mindsets and approaches to being on YouTube, if that makes sense to me. If that makes sense to you. I don't know why. Of course, it makes sense to me. Thanks, body, for questioning yourself. And then I have a whole section on behind the scenes, because that's a whole thing that I don't think many people talk about, and there is a lot of back end if you are doing YouTube for growth. There's things we'll get into there. And then the last one is efficiency. And you might be like, why the hell are you talking about efficiency? But if you make, the process just needs to be efficient for you, whatever that means for you, and that's like kind of the point there. But I digress. Let's get into things to consider before starting a channel. The first one you gotta ask is, am I doing this for a hobby, or am I doing this as a career, as in for growth? Because that will deeply affect your goals with it. That'll affect your whole approach, as I stated a minute ago. You know what I mean? Like, are you trying to build a brand of you or of your business or whatever? That's a big factor. Or do you just enjoy making videos of whatever? Because that's also totally cool and you're totally allowed. There's nobody saying you have to be on YouTube for a career thing. A lot of people think that, but I don't think that's the case. But you need to know if you want to do it for a hobby or for more of a career, as in for like growth and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, because it affects your long-term goals. Long-term, if you're going for career, you're going to be aiming for growth, you're going to be aiming for consistent uploading, you're going to be trying to fit into a specific niche, you're going to be trying to grow an audience. Whereas if you're doing it for a hobby, you're literally just vibing, bro, you know? So that's like the first thing I would ever ask yourself. And the second thing is, if the answer is you are doing it for growth, you need like 3 to 4 months of content ideas before you even start the channel, if that makes sense. Depending on how often you plan on uploading, personally, if you're just starting out, I recommend uploading a maximum 2 times a week, especially if you don't really have a background in video editing. The filming is not the hard part, I will tell you that. The video editing is the part that usually slows people down. So I would set yourself like a 1 to 2 video a week kind of goal to start, and then plan, like depending on which one of those you choose, plan 3 to 4 months of content ideas. Like even if you just make a list of like a room tour and whatever, stuff that fits your niche. Because that way when you are like, God damn, gotta film because it's filming day, you're not like, what am I filming? I don't know. You have like a batch to pick from. I have several batches. I have some music content, some cover content. I have lifestyle batches. I've recently made my brand more specific. Not that I'm like changing how I am as a person. I just like got more focused on like the energy. No, that's not the word I want to use. The types of content I want to be creating and the messaging that I would like to be sharing, because I feel like it's been a little vague recently. But the most important thing is, if you are doing it for a career, you have to have an incredibly consistent upload schedule. I've fallen off, obviously. Maybe I will pick it back up hopefully soon. Actually, that's in the game plan for the summer, now that I'm like out of hibernation and no longer like laying in bed all day wondering why we exist. Sorry. But yeah, you need to stick to an incredibly strict upload schedule. I noticed if for instance, I upload on Saturdays at 3 p.m. If I uploaded this video on a Tuesday, even if it was at 3 p.m., the like algorithm would be like, and just like not show it to anybody because it's not sticking to the status quo. The algorithm gets ya. The algorithm hurts you hard. I even started trying to introduce Wednesday as an upload day at some point last summer, and the algorithm was still like, what are you doing? Like, it's not Saturday. So, you know, when you're bigger, well, if you get bigger, if you get like 50,000 followers or something, or even like 10,000, and you introduce a second day, you probably won't get absolutely zapped like a small person like me might. But yeah, just really stick to your consistent upload day. The good thing about that though is that you can make content well in advance if you only have a one-day upload schedule week thing when you're small, because you can have like batch film days and you can simply film all of your shit for like 3 weeks and then just edit them slowly over the course of said 3 weeks. And then you have 3 weeks worth of videos ready, and you've done like 1 day of getting ready. I didn't get ready for this video. I feel like that's part of my branding at this point. I just like wake up and I'm like, hey, sup, it's me. So YouTube, I really enjoy it. I really like the filmmaking. I really like the editing. It's really tranquil for me. I enjoy filming things. I'm never quite sure what people want to see from me. So that's something. If you know what you want to see from me more, let me know. But I enjoy the filming process. So I probably would have started this as a hobby if I was also not trying to grow a music career. And in fact, I have had like 2 other hobby channels in the past that I've since been like wiped off of this earth. One when I was like 15, and then another one I started again when I was like 18, and they were just like whatever I wanted to film kind of whenever. But if like it's really lax and there's no back end to casual or fun YouTube, if that makes sense. If you're doing it just strictly because you love making videos, like by all means. But if you are doing it for growth, there's essentially just more layers to that, because you still need to enjoy filming, you still need to enjoy editing, you still need to have some sort of content ideas. You know, like you can't just be like, I'm gonna start a YouTube and then have no plans. Like, you gotta have those things. But then the career adds on. Like, volume of content is important if you're trying to grow. There's a deep focus on the back end, like hashtag research, audience research, target audience research. There's field research, like watching other YouTubers that make stuff similar to you and trying to figure out why their stuff is successful and like what they're doing that the general audience that you're aiming for seems to like. There's a huge focus on branding if you're trying to be a career, as I had mentioned previously, but branding is like the thing that will keep people knowing that it's you. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just when you're yourself online, you are a brand. And so staying true to that is the thing that will separate you, I think, from everybody else, regardless of what you're doing. Behind the scenes is the next one. I'm so glad that I've relaxed on camera. If you watched my videos from a year ago, I was just like, and now I'm simply existing. I don't know if that's due to like COVID being around for, I don't know if I can say that word. I don't know if it's because of being around for for like a year or what, but chillin'. You will notice if you just start that you will be unbelievably uncomfortable and you will come across as a little awkward. That's totally normal. And for behind the scenes stuff, what I did dead ass for a while was I just like wandered around filming myself doing whatever. My family was like, what's going on? Because I was just like filming my existence and then deleting the footage, and they were like, why are you doing this? But yeah, I really recommend that. Practice being in front of the camera if that's something you want to get more comfortable with. And streaming really helped me vibe it out, because 2 to 3 hours live is very different than this. But yeah, behind the scenes, lots of focus on branding. So core pillars. I don't have my book with me, but essentially what I did is I asked myself a bunch of questions. Oh wait, I totally do. Hold on. I asked myself mad questions. This is like the scrap paper I did it on, and then I like actually dealt with my branding pillars on my laptop. But I asked myself a couple questions. The first one was, what makes me unique or stand out from other creators? The second one was, what's my headline? As in, what would make a stranger pick my messages, like the things that I'm trying to represent, over everything else they see if we were on like a giant virtual magazine stand. And then the third one was, how can I make my standout feature important to others? And then I found those questions kind of vague and it was daunting. So then I asked myself a couple more questions, which were, what do I value most? What do I stand for? What's something I don't want myself or others to experience? What am I already doing and why am I doing those things? And what are the qualities that make other people in my niche? What are the qualities that make me look up to other people in my niche? Sorry, dyslexic. So then with those, I just focused on what I value most and what I stand for, and those gave me my biggest pillars, the things that I really wanted to focus on. I kind of like funneled them that way, if that makes sense. And the things that I value most is personally how I want to be online, if that makes sense. The things that I value in communication or in people or whatever is what I want to be representing as a person online. But what do I stand for is the messaging and the general like moral of the stories, or the story that I am on the internet, if that makes sense. So what do I value is me as a character, if you will, even though it's literally just me being like, these are definitely the things that I care about as a human being. And what do I stand for being, these are the things that I'm trying to get across to other human beings through whatever I'm creating. Hope that made sense. But I recommend doing those types of exercises for branding. Actually, down below I will link a little PDF or a Google document, whatever, that you can copy if you would like, of those questions if that's something you're interested in, because it really helps me focus my branding and like create content for each of those pillars across my social medias. Hashtag research is kind of, it's hard. I have an app called TubeBuddy. I don't pay for the premium, I probably should, but it shows you the hashtags, the top 3 hashtags that are related to what you're searching or hashtagging. I have like a staple set that I use depending on the type of video I'm making. So I have like a set of hashtags I tend to use for my music stuff, as well as a formula to kind of cover all of the hashtags relating to the song. And then the more lifestyle things also have their own kind of set of hashtags and formula. So yeah, that's like kind of something you have to trial and error because you're likely not in the same niche that I am. Or if you are, I don't know how effective my hashtags actually have been. It's like something I'm currently working at. So that's like probably the hardest thing. Or niche research if you're not quite sure where you want to start. Your girl has mad interests. I like video games, I like knitting, I like tidying my room and that kind of style of content, like cleaning. I like cooking. Recently I got into cooking. I'm a pagan. I like that kind of stuff. I, you know, am a musician. That's a whole other thing that I kind of do on this channel. There's lots of interests. I like working out. I like fitness. I like painting. Like, there's so many niches, and it took me a really long time to find the one that I wanted to focus in on. So like, think really hard about the kind of content you want to be predominantly making, because you're gonna have to like stick with that content for a while, especially at first, before you like build up some rapport and people are interested in seeing you do other things, that kind of stuff. For me, I did some like online editing classes because your girl has no idea what she's doing. I got the student bundle for like Logic and Final Cut and all of that stuff, but I had no idea how to use Final Cut. So I took a couple classes teaching me like, this is what that button does, and this is what that button does, and these are the use of shortcuts. So you might have to spend some time doing that in the behind the scenes. And then mad planning of video ideas is a huge thing that will happen behind the scenes, and some of them will probably never exist. Like, I just have a note on my phone that I just write ideas down in, and probably like 1 in 10 of them are made, realistically. I could probably make more of them, but I don't know, I'd rather have like a fat batch of, you know, video ideas than be sitting there going, what the hell? But there's a lot of mad planning that goes into videos and content that you're planning to create in the future. My camera's gonna die, so let's go. Last one is efficiency, learning your skill sets and making the process faster for yourself. As I stated previously, likely the video editing will be the thing that destroys you and your efficiency fast. When I started making YouTube, it probably took me like 8 hours to edit a video of like this, like sitting down and talking, and it was a lot because I would have like 30 minutes of footage and it just was painful. I've managed to speed that up a lot, and that will probably be the thing that will make you more efficient. Also, getting around the YouTube covers and learning what I want them to sound like was a big learning curve in efficiency for me. It used to take like 3 or 4 days for me to make a cover, and now it takes about 2, depending on like how much practice I've put into it and my game plan. So that's like a big factor, is just getting better at the things that you are doing, and that comes with practice. That's not something you can specifically anticipate in advance. All right, keep it interesting and fun for yourself. If you're doing this as a career / for growth or whatever, you don't want to hate it. So you don't want to make it feel like a chore, so find ways to make it fun and fresh all of the time. And that's gonna look different for everybody because we all find different things fun and fresh and exciting. And also find ways to make the process more efficient in the sense that you can create lots but not spend your entire existence filming and editing. So like I said, I like to, generally speaking, batch create if I am planning to upload pretty consistently. We'll see how we're doing right now. But I found otherwise I would just like film on Wednesday, edit on Thursday, upload on Friday, and the video is like subpar. Good morning, it is the next day. My camera battery died yesterday, and then it got dark outside. So this is the outro. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. I hope this video was helpful. If you were considering starting a channel, let me know in the comments below. If you are considering starting a channel, because I would love to see what kind of content you end up making. But yeah, that's all. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.